Cameron wondered if there's an association between age and favorite flavor of ice cream. He got chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. She surveyed 200 children in different age ranges. The table below shows the results of her survey. Tamara gives the following information, and we got all those points, but we're going to make a two-way table based on these values. Now, in the two-way table, they've already started with some values in there, which was extraordinarily generous. They don't always do that. And in fact, we got labels both at the top here and on the side. Now, just as a quick review, is each box is representing two things, whatever is labeled in the column and whatever is labeled in the row. So, for example, this box right here would represent people 8 to 12 years old that prefer vanilla over chocolate and strawberry. See that? Or like this one right here, this is 12. Well, that would be 12 of the people surveyed were 13 to 17 years old, and they chose strawberry as their favorite flavor amongst these three. Oh, what about this 200 right here? Well, that's a total and a total. That means it's the total of totals, and that's the total number of people then that were surveyed. So that would include all ages and all of the flavors. Okay. So it says down here, let's look. The first point we got is half of the children surveyed chose chocolate as their favorite flavor. Now, it did not specify what age group we're looking at on. It just said half of the children, although most of these people are not children anymore. That's a mischaracterization. But that's half of the people surveyed chose chocolate as their favorite flavor. Well, 200 people were surveyed. Half of that, and you could use multiplication, you could use division on this one, but that'd be half of 200. So I'd say multiply by 1/2 or divide by 2, and that would give you 100. Okay, so that's 100 people chose chocolate as their favorite flavor. So we got to figure out where that goes, right? So it's chocolate, but it's the total number of people that chose chocolate. That's 100 right there. That's what we figured out. So that's where we're going to put 100. Okay? Okay. Just need to get the same value there. Next point. It says 25% of the people surveyed were in the age range of 8 to 12 years old. 25%. And so it's not, again, this one is not talking about favorite flavor on this one. It is talking specifically about this age group, 8 to 12. So I go to 8 to 12, I follow this along. It's not chocolate, it's not vanilla, it's not strawberry, it's a total amount right there. You could say total people surveyed right here if you'd like, but it's 25% of the total people surveyed. So what was the total number of people surveyed? It's 200. But this is 25%, so you could set up a percent proportion. I'm going to take a quick shortcut and just multiply it by 0.25, which is more the percent equation. But you'll get the same answer either way, and in this case, I get 50. So that's 50 of the people chose, or that were surveyed were 8 to 12 years old. So 50 right here. Next up, it says 2/5 of the people surveyed were in the age range 13 to 17. Yeah, these are not children anymore. These are adults, by the way. So 2/5, and it's supposed to be purple, but here we go. 2/5 of the people surveyed. Well, of the people surveyed, that was 200. It's 2/5 of that, so I'm just going to multiply the 200 by 2/5. And let's see, what do we get at that? 40, 80? That's right. Okay, so we figured out that value. Let's figure out where it goes. It's 13 to 17 years old. They didn't mention anything about flavors here. So 13 to 17 in the table. It's not chocolate, it's not vanilla, it's not strawberry. It couldn't be strawberry. So that's the total right there. That's 80. 80 of the people surveyed were 13 to 17 years old. Next up, 50% of the children in the age range 3 to 7 years old chose chocolate as their favorite flavor. Oh, okay. So we got to figure out how many people were age 3 to 7 before we can figure this out, because this is not 50% of all the people surveyed. It's 50% of the people in the age range 3 to 7. Okay. So see how we got this missing box right here. Now we see that if we line these up, that 3 to 7 8 to 12, and 13 to 17-year-olds. When we add all these values together, we should get 200 right here, which means I can find that total with some subtraction. So it'd say, hey, look, we got the 200 total people surveyed. Sorry, that's kind of small. And then we're going to subtract, I would subtract the 8 to 12 years old, which was 50. Then I would also subtract the 13 to 17-year-olds, which was 80. And whatever I get out of that would be how many people were 3 to 7 years old. So 200 minus 50 minus 80, 70? 70 right there. So you see how that became kind of a Sudoku thing where we've got to use the other values in this. If this was column, use the other values in the column to find the top value there. Now we're going to use that value to figure out how many of those people chose chocolate as their favorite flavors. So it says 50% of those people, the 3 to 7-year-olds, chose chocolate as their favorite flavor. So I would take those 70, and I would either, 50%, I'm just going to use it as a fraction. That's 1/2, so 70 times 1/2, that's 35 right there. So it looks like of those 70, 3 to 7-year-olds, 35 of them chose chocolate as their favorite flavor. See that? And without looking at this last point right here, that means that I could now figure out this value. Because remember, these three values here need to add up to 100. That would be 100 total people that chose chocolate as their favorite flavor. We got 35 and 25. There's only one category left right there. Now, before I do that, though, let's look at the final point. So this is 50 children chose strawberry as their favorite flavor. 50 children chose strawberry as their favorite flavor. No need for calculation on this one. It's just strawberry. 50 peoples right here. That'd be the total number of peoples. It didn't classify the age group right there, so just the 50 right here. And we have more than enough information to complete this table. Even though right now it may not look like it. And then again, we're looking at this like a Sudoku puzzle because the rows and the columns all have to not necessarily match, but they have to work with each other to produce values that would be the same. Okay? Now, do you have to do this in this order that I just did it? Of course not. Some of you would have said, well, I can find some of these values once I saw this 100. Perhaps, I don't know. But I just went down the list, and then I'm going to find any values that I can in whatever order that I want. And since we already looked at chocolate, 13 to 17-year-olds that chose chocolate, that's what I'm going to do. Okay? So let's go and figure out this value. So you take the total number of people that chose chocolate, that was 100, and would need to subtract the 35 from the 3 to 7-year-old. And then also we'd need to subtract the 25 people that chose chocolate that were 8 to 12 years old, right there, okay? So that's a 60, 100 minus 60, I'd get 40. You don't have to do it exactly that way, but that's what I got, 40 right there, okay? Now just a final check, you could say, well, 35 plus 25 plus 40, does that equal 100? And it does, okay? But also, horizontally, these should match. So these three added together should be 80, these three added together should be 50, these three added together should be 70. Now, I could not use the column at this point to figure out strawberry, but I could use the row to figure out strawberry. See that? So I got two values and 50, which is the total. So that's the value I'm going to next, and then we'll figure out all of the vanillas on this one. So strawberry, there was a total of 50 people that chose strawberry. 12 of them were 13 to 17-year-olds old, and another 12 were 8 to 12 years old. So when I do this subtraction, I get, 24, 26. There we go. So it looks like 26 of the 3 to 7-year-old peoples chose strawberry right there. So I've used all of the columns to figure out missing values. Now I'm going to have to go and look at the rows to figure out these missing values for vanilla. So let's go to vanilla. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down, although you could work from the bottom up. So it's up to you. So on this one, I see that there was, for vanilla, this is 3 to 7 years old. 70 total people chose, were 3 to 7 years old. Now 35 of them chose chocolate, so I'm going to subtract that from the 70. And then 26 of them chose strawberry, so I'm going to subtract that as well. Whatever I get will be the vanilla people that chose vanilla from the ages 3 to 7. So what do you get? 50, 61, 9? That's what I got right there. And working my way down, now we're looking at 8 to 12 years old people that chose vanilla. See, there's a total of 50. So I'm just going to subtract the 12 that chose strawberry, and then I'll subtract the 25 that chose chocolate. Let's see, 50 minus 12 minus 25, 37, 13. Right there. And then ages 13 to 17, you have 80 total people, ages 13 to 17. We're going to subtract the strawberries, which was 12. And then we're going to subtract the chocolates, which was 40. So 80 minus 12 minus 40 would be 52. Looks like that'd be 28. Right there. Now, I'm using subtraction to figure out vanilla for ages 3 to 7, 8 to 12, and 13 to 17. But now that I have those three values, now I can actually use addition to find the total number of people that chose vanilla. Because 9 of them were ages 3 to 7, 13 were ages 8 to 12, and 28 were ages 13 to 17. So I'm just going to add all those three values. That would give us then the total, or the sum. So let's see, what do we get? 9 and 13 is 22, 50, looks like. Yeah. So I found all those values by rows, but they should work by columns as well. Okay, so we again, the last check here, well, 26 plus 12 plus 12 is 50, that's true. And 70 plus 50 plus 80, is that 200? Yep, it is. Same with 35 and 25 and 40, that's 100. So that's by columns, but let's look at the rows. 100 plus 50 needs to equal 200, that's true. 40 plus 28 plus 12 is 80, yes. 25 plus 13 plus 12 is 50, correct. And 35 plus 9 plus 26, yep, that's correct, that's 70 right there, okay. And we've already verified that everything down here that we did was correct. Well, I mean, the calculator would prove that it's correct, but it should be good, okay? And that completes this two-way table, and we pretend like we played Sudoku so that it feels fun, even though it may not have been.